How you guys doing today? Happy Friday. Um, I want to talk to you guys real quick about. I want to talk to you guys real quick about. Someone left a comment about being sub five in the military, and I want to tell you guys real quick. My father was in the military. Um, my dad did. He did 4 years in the Navy, and the military is not a bad way to go. I was trying to go Navy back when I was in my early 20s because I was trying to follow in that path. The military is not a bad option. It can I had my cousin's business partner. My cousin's business partner, he was in the Army, and he even told me back when I was in my early 20s, he felt that I was lost, which I was lost in my early 20s. I was young at that time, and he was telling me, you'll learn how to shoot in the military. It'll teach you a lot of good things for life, and you'll never be scared of nothing again. That's what my dad's buddy told me about the Navy, the military. That's what he told me back when I was in my early 20s. But as far as being sub five in the military, I do believe that if you're not conventionally attractive, if you're not a person that people deem as attractive, this is going to affect you in every area of your life. Whichever path of life you choose to go down, this is going to affect you. Whether you're going in the military, whether you're working in a particular profession, even when I get into this automotive thing, most of the men that I'm gonna be working around in the auto shop, most of these men are gonna have wives and children. So, God forbid if they find out you don't have a wife and kids, it's gonna be very awkward. You working in an automotive shop around men who have whole families and obligations and responsibilities. But if you're in the military and you're not conventionally attractive, if you're not somebody that is conventionally attractive, I do believe the sergeant will try to work you harder. I do believe in the military, you more than likely you'll be subject to bullying in the service. And I never thought about that. I felt this was a good topic to talk about because I never thought about if you're considered a man who is not attractive, that you'll be treated a certain that you'll be treated a certain way even in the service. But if people perceive you in a negative light, this is going to affect you in every area of your life. It don't matter what you do. This is something that follows you. Most people who were bullied back in middle school, back in high school, the bullying doesn't stop after middle school and high school. See, I used to think that if you was a person who was considered an outcast in middle school or high school, that, after school, all the BS will end. No. If you were labeled an outcast in school, now I see what people really mean when they say the world is one big high school, because it is. If you were bullied in middle school and high school, the madness never stops, even after school. So in the military, I do believe it can be very bad for you. If you go to war in the military and, people perceive you in a negative light, your platoon more than likely will set you up to be exterminated, set you up to be erased off the map. So I do believe if you're a person that people perceive in a negative light, even in the service, this can have it can have a tremendous impact on you in a negative light, even in the service. I believe in the service, other men in your platoon will try to bully you and try to emasculate you in the military if they perceive you as a oddball, or if they feel that you're not conventionally attractive. This type of stuff, it's like a disease. It's a disease that just won't go away. because you can't help the way people perceive you. And if people perceive you in a negative light, this is going to follow you in all areas of your life. It's a never-ending disaster that will never end. And it's sad, it's very unfortunate, but it's nothing you can do about it. And that's what makes it so disheartening. But I truly believe even in the military, you'll have to work harder to prove yourself as worthy, to prove yourself as a real man, even in the service, especially if you're perceived in a negative light. But the military, I'll never say is anything wrong with the military, because the military instills discipline. It can teach you certain principles that I feel you need as a man. There are just certain things that the military can instill in you that you'll be able to use those qualities for the rest of your life. So I'll never say it's anything wrong with the military. I just feel that if you're a man that's not considered conventionally attractive, I do believe that you're going to run into problems in the service. Because, most men, even in the military, most of those men are married. Most of them have wives, they have children. If these men find out that you a man who's not married, or you a man who's not sought after, I do believe you could face some bullying from other men, even in the service. I thought at the age of it was a guy. It's a guy in my automotive class who's retired military. He was in the Army, and I thought the retiring age. Well, I thought the cutoff age for the military was 35. It's a guy who told me that he knows someone who's 39 who just got in the military. So you could still go, but so that's good to know that you could still go. This dude is 39 and he just got in the service. But I feel the service is a good way to see the world, which I want to see the world. I can't wait to get my passport. I want to do some traveling, and it's a lot of things that I want to see, and it's a lot of things that I want to experience. So I feel the service is great. And if there are any young guys out there who are considering the military, I'll say give it a shot. You never know it till you try it. Don't, like they say, what's the old saying? Don't knock it until you try it. But I feel the service is good. If you're a young guy out there trying to find your way in life, no sense of direction, the military can give you that direction. But I do believe, like I stated, you're going to have a tough time in the service if people perceive you in a negative light. If people perceive you as an oddball, or if you're not considered conventionally attractive, you're going to run into issues even in the service. It's going to be rough for you. But that's been my take on it. That's how, that's what I truly believe. And, I want to give a salute to the person who left that comment telling me to talk about how it would be to be a sub-5 man in the military, because I never talked about this topic before, and that's what I want to keep coming, new topics. And if you guys know any other topic you would like me to talk about, I'll gladly talk about that. And another thing, women in the military will also discriminate against you. If the women feel that you're not attractive, they'll discriminate against you. And you know how it is. If the women discriminate against you, other men are going to discriminate against you as well. So I truly feel like, I truly know for a fact that if you're not considered conventionally attractive, you're gonna catch a life of hell, even in the military. Just imagine being in the service, still catching a life of hell. Because you got to think, most of these men in the service, they're married also. So, you know, this thing right here, this unfortunate deck of cards that life has handed to certain people, this is something that they will never escape. Like I stated, guys, it's a never-ending disaster. That's what this reality is. But you guys have a good Friday. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.